Welcome back to the Dragon's Den. I'm your host, SinDragonLord, and this is week 1 of season 10 of the Global Pokemon Society draft. If you guys missed the draft on the Global Pokemon Society YouTube channel, feel free to check that out first. And you can skip this part of the video if you want. This is basically just me going over the team that I was able to draft. And then we'll go into who my opponent is and what their team composition looks like. And then we'll finally go into the team that we're going to bring to face them off or face off with them later this week. So, anywho, for our S tier we have Annihilate. For our A tier we have Tauros Blaze, we have Driftveil, Weavile, Slowbro, Bombardier, Slacking, Reveroom. So I'll admit, at first glance, this is not the best team. I've definitely drafted better teams in the past, but it has potential, and possibly with a couple of tweaks or potentially swapping various roles that each Pokemon has for a better Pokemon for the same role, could potentially bump this team up a little bit. But for now, I think it's got potential. So basically, we have Annihilate, we have Tauros, Weavile, Slowbro, Bombardier, Slacking, Reverend Pikachu, as I mentioned before. So let's just go into a couple of notable synergies, because this is for VGC doubles. So not only do you need to draft good Pokemon, but you need to draft good Pokemon that work well together. So I feel like with VGC, on top of having good offensive mons, you need to have stellar support. You won't get very far if you're trying to bulldoze your way in through hyper offense unless you have good follow. And I feel like I have a decent feature. Driftveil is great support. Tauros is good support with Intimidate, on top of being a potential offensive threat as well. Slowbro could be good for setting up Trick Room if I ever needed to, or shutting down Trick Room with Imprison if I come across a Trick Room team. Slacking and Driftveil have great synergy with Doodle, allowing Slacking to get rid of its true ability and actually making it a force to be reckoned with because it's got some of the best stats in the game, especially for a non-legendary. Reveroom, I mainly picked this up because I noticed that my team was kind of sort of weak to Fairy. Tauros is neutral to it. Weavile is weak to it. Annihilate's weak to it. Bombardier is weak to it. So I just wanted to have something to deal with fairies, more or less. And it's also not a bad setup mon either. We have Pikachu because I was realizing that most of my offensive threats were on the physical side. I wanted something on the special side. And Pikachu can kind of put in that work, you know. It needs to pick up KOs because it's forced to hold the Light Ball item. So it's preferred to have with Redirection or Wide Guard support to protect it from Earthquake, and unfortunately we don't have that at the moment. And unless we're able to make some trades and swap things around, probably won't happen. So I probably won't bring Pikachu unless it has an exceptionally good matchup against the opponent. Some other things to note: the Weavile Annihilate is also pretty good. Annihilate and Mousehold were in the same tier, so I couldn't pick Mousehold and Annihilate, so Weavile is just the next best option. Due to its access to beat up, and it also has access to Icy Wind for speed control. And it's also the fastest fake out user in the game. So, with that in mind, you know, Weavile's pretty good, even though it's mostly outshined by Chiampao. Weavile still has its uses, and it kind of serves a similar role that Chiampao does, just to a lesser degree. Alright, so that's all I have to say about that. I don't want to give out all the spice week 1, because I want to have some surprises left over for my future opponents should they be watching videos, which I assume they will be. So week 1, you're going against the Driftveil City Dragapults. They have a Sand Core. They have Garchomp, Lycanroc Midday with Sand Rush, a Powdon with Sandstream, Rotom Heat, a Porygon with probably Water Absorb, so we can't just fire off water attacks. I think we can get through the ground rock, or even the fire for that matter. It actually makes Rotom kind of hard to deal with, because its only weakness is rock and water, and you eliminate one of those weaknesses and it's already kind of a bulky threat. So then we have Toadscroll. Toadscroll, I used it last season in singles and it was fantastic. I believe it has some really good options for doubles. I haven't looked into it yet. I need to, but we can probably just do that while we're here. And I'll leave a timestamp for the battle in the comments below. It'll be pinned. That way you guys can just skip all this if you guys just want to see the battle. But I think Toadscroll actually gets some pretty good options. They haven't updated the Google Docs to show, or basically just quick click. I can't speak English on the link. So let's see. Obviously it gets Mycelium Might, which is an okay ability. It allows you to use status moves and ignoring the Pokemon's ability, but it moves last in the priority bracket, so it's -1 priority. Let's see. Do you have any good? It gets access to Rage Powder, which is nice. It's got redirection, so that's awesome. Something to look at. Got access to Trick Room. It could be a Trick Room setter, and the fact that it's and that in combination with Mycelium Might isn't terrible either, because it already has negative priority. So, now the only downside to that is Toadscroll is naturally pretty respectively fast, so you would have to really probably go I'm having a hard time remembering the ability or the nature, but plus special defense, minus speed, 0 IVs and speed for it to be relatively decent under Trick Room. But what else do we got? That's really it. Mainly, is just Rage Powder and the potential to set up Trick Room. As far as notable moves that can be used in doubles or that are specifically used. So just something to look out for. Should probably be on the lookout for potential Rage Powders and what. But we already got an answer for that, and I'll get into that in a second. So moving back up here, I wanted to go over Toadscroll first because I already have used Toadscroll, and I happen to really like the Pokemon. It's pretty nice. So Garchomp and Lycanroc Midday obviously are going to be the primary sand abusers with Hippowdon, Sandveil, and Sand Rush, boosting evasion in Sandstorm, and doubling speed in Sandstorm. Makes it a pretty hefty threat under the right conditions. And then we have Hippowdon, obviously instead of Sand Setter. I mean, Garchomp probably will do something like Rock Slide, Protect, Earthquake, coverage move. If I had to guess, does it get access to Breaking Swipe? I don't remember. That could also be a. Doesn't look like it's access to Breaking Swipe. No, it does not. Okay. So we don't have to worry about that. Um, Rotom Heat's got some. It's not really a. Kind of serves the same rule in doubles as it does in singles, just kind of a bulky pivot. It also has access to things like Will-O-Wisp, or one of my favorite things to do with Rotom Heat, especially since we're kind of, especially since we're under item clause. Say if we want to choice scarf something else, like that Metacham for instance, which I'll talk about in a second also. That's also another favorite of mine. You could also put a Flame Orb on Rotom Heat, and since fire types can't be burned, you can trick the Flame Orb onto something else, and it essentially becomes a 100% accurate Will-O-Wisp. The only problem with that is it won't burn till the end of the turn, so you could trade immediate gratification as far as getting that burn off immediately for accuracy. So it's kind of a trade-off, but you can also just keep switcherooing and give other things Flame Orbs, and it also gets rid of the opponent's items. It's also really Pokemon that are extremely reliant on their items, for instance. So, Vaporeon, not much to say there. It's probably just there to redirect water attacks from Powdon and Lycanroc. Wait, is that how Water Absorb works? I don't know if it redirects. I think that's Storm Drain that redirects, so maybe I don't have anything to worry about. Okay, but yeah, I think Water Absorb. I think I was wrong. I think it actually does not redirect. It just makes it to where if it's hit by one, it will heal itself. So I don't have to worry about like it protecting Hippowdon like I initially thought. That's my mistake. But I'm glad I caught it now. So then we have Knuckle Stack. Knuckle Stack is interesting. It's got Purifying Salt. And he was also kind of clever in the fact that he got Toad Scroll, which is like the only Pokemon that can actually stay this Knuckle Stack. His Knuckle Stack's ability makes it immune to status condition, so it can't be burned, can't be put to sleep. The only thing that gets around that is Toad Scroll. I don't think there's any Mold Breaker or any good Mold Breaker status users, to my knowledge. I could be wrong. But it's also going to get a buff in the sand, so it's going to be extremely bulky. You could probably put like a Violite with like max defense, max HP, and then the sand will boost its special defense while making it a super tanky Pokemon. And then you could Terrasilize into any favorable. Well, if you Terrasilize, you will lose the special defense boost that you're getting from sand. But if you come across any matchups that aren't favorable, you could just Terrasilize into a more favorable matchup. There's that option, but you'll just lose out on the sand boost. Metacham. Metacham has got some really cheeky things it can do with VGC. I've used it VGC before. It's a great fake out user. Got access to. I was actually thinking about picking up Metacham myself. I think Driftveil actually sniped it from me. But it's got some cheeky things. Like I was initially going to use it as like a skill swap user. Is skill swap Pure Power onto Slacking, and then have it really put in some work. But it's got things like skill swap. It's got Trick Room. It's got Fake Out. It's got Quick Guard to protect you from priority. On top of just being an offensive monster. Then Kamala, I don't know if you get of goal relevance in doubles. I should probably figure that out though. Let's take a gander. Alright, decent attack, decent special defense. Could be a good assault vest. It could potentially farm, but it's not exactly the fastest. I'm not really seeing any relevant moves that are exceptionally good in doubles. But Yawn is pretty good. Like, I don't know, Yawn, Protect, insert 2 offensive moves here. Possibly Wish. Um, it is one of the few wish passers in the game outside of like and other things, but in a draft format that's already severely limited by limited decks, kind of limited, and not everyone's going to be able to have access to wish. So this could be a potential wish passer if they decide they want to use that. So anyway, that is what we're going against, and finally, so we are going to go ahead and bring Annihilate, Tauros Blaze, Driftveil, Slowbro, Driftveil, and Bombardier. The main reason for Bombardier is it's able to safely switch into a Garchomp Earthquake. And then when we Terrasilize, we're no longer weak to. Well, if we Terrasilize Rock, we swap not being weak to Rock Slide and swap being weak. Kind of a giver. I could potentially change up the Terra type if I decide to. If I decide that it's worthwhile to do. But anyway, we got Terra Fire on the Annihilate. That's pretty weird. Not gonna go into that much. The whole point of this mainly is to take hits, get strong, and keep ourselves healthy, and also to deter Intimidate because of its Defiant ability. If we take a speed drop, we are going to obviously get an attack boost. And we have Tauros. Now, I thought about swapping either Will-O-Wisp or Body Press for. Do you even get Bulldoze? That's actually a good question. I don't know if you did get Bulldoze, but I did think about swapping move on here for Bulldoze because, for one thing, it'll make Rage Fist 100 base power, or make it 100 base power. It'll give Annihilate a Defiant boost. And if we're setting up Bulk Up, we'll go a +2 attack, +1 defense. And the opponents are already intimidated. And everyone barring Tauros will have a speed drop. So that is something I've considered. I'm not sure yet. But Body Press is looking pretty good, and so is Willow. Just because he's looking pretty offensive. So we'll kind of figure that out a bit later. But Bulldoze is kind of like a potential 5th slot option that I have considered. And then we got Driftveil. In the set we're going with Terra Dark. That's all. Is there anyone else? Oh. There we go. So back to Driftveil. So because he is a weather team, relying heavily on sand, I want to have weather that I want to have weather that will put his core in check. Right, it'll make my water type attack stronger. It'll get rid of Sand Rush and Sand Veil. So just having those options are pretty nice. We're going with Terra Dark. This is a standard rule of thumb, just even though there's no Prankster user on the team currently, having the ability to block Prankster with my own Prankster, pretty nice. That's one of the main reasons why Merc best Prankster user in the game is because it shares a Dark type, which means you can't use Prankster against. So, but we have Parting Shot, which is a great move in general, and Aurora has shown how good that move that can be. How good of a move that can be. We have Super Fang. Basically, that's just there to deal with walls, such as that Knuckle Stack, such as that Hippowdon, and allow my offensive Pokemon to be able to pick up a KO from an easier range. We have Encore. Let's say if they lock themselves into like setup move, a status move, or an unfavorable move, I can just lock them in. And then they're either forced to switch, or they're just forced to stay in, and I don't have to worry about that slot. So it basically becomes a kind of a 2v1. And then of course we have Rain Dance to set up the rain. We have Slowbro. Slowbro, obviously one of the better supports, and we're rocking with Yawn, Chilling Water. Yeah, Scald is better, but Chilling Water is the best that we've got, and it's basically a water type move that also grants an Intimidate, granting further bulk. And then we also have Heal Pulse. This is there to keep Annihilate healthy. That way it can keep taking hits and keep getting stronger. And then obviously Protect. There's very few Pokemon in VGC that is not going to run some sort of Protect move on it. And then we have Weavile. As I mentioned, Weavile is one of the best Fake Out users. The game is the fastest Fake Out user, so it's never going to be outsped by another Fake Out user unless they Scarf it, but that'd be kind of silly. So we don't have to worry about that. We have Icy Wind, Ice Spinner, and Beat Up, because that in combination with it'll hit Annihilate 4 times, which will basically put Rage Fist to 250 base power right off the bat. So that's like explosion level power. So that's insane. So, and then we all, like I said, Icy Wind. It's there to obviously speed control. So after we set up with Annihilate, we can use Icy Wind to lower speed tiers of everyone on the other side and allow Annihilate to stay. We have Assault Vest on it because we already have Focus Sash on II, but there's also applications for a more there's also applications for a file set that is more finely tuned for an Assault Vest set because it gets access to Snarl. Will I use that at some point? I don't know. It depends on the matchup. And then finally we got Bon Voyage. So we have Covert Cloak, that way it can't be faked out or anything like that. And this allows us to set up Tailwind. It's just another form of speed control. It was the best Tailwind user that we had left. Like I said, there are going to be certain Pokemon here that are going to seem weird, but their roles are simply to, you know, just like I said with Kamala with Wind. There's only a few Pokemon that can actually set up Tailwind in a draft league with 19 other teams. Those Tailwind users are going to go quick. So the fact that I was able to get one at all, being 18th in the draft, is pretty nice. Then we have Rock Slide, Brave Bird, and Sucker Punch. So Sucker Punch is pretty nice because it's most forgettable. It's just the fact that it's also Dark type, so you can't Prankster Taunt it to prevent Tailwind from. So against Prankster users, Bombardier is actually not terrible. So yeah, that's it for the team. With that being said, go ahead and get into the battle portion. Back to the Dragon's Den. I'm your host, SinDragonLord, and this is the Global Pokemon Society Draft League Season 10. We are against the Driftveil City Dragapults. And not gonna lie, I was kind of rushed to make my selection because I had to sort of make an adjustment. So I kind of had to panic select, so let's just hope for the best here. Alright. We're gonna protect. Oh. Actually, we're gonna bulk up, and we are going to fake out Boot Scroll, that way we can get a Spore off. Okay, so he's just gonna swap anyway, that's fine. Fine by me. I think this is the Rotom. Yes, the Rotom. Alright. 4. Okay, fine. Oh, he's got overheat, that's why. Okay, fair enough. And we got a jetpack on Hippowdon. Alright, so kind of what we were expecting, more or less. I was expecting maybe leftovers on the Hippowdon, but the eject pack makes just as much sense. So next game we'll definitely have more time to make a selection. I think I had like 20 seconds by the time I was done making everything. He's really taking his time to think his plays through. Alright, there's Garchomp with the Sand Veil ability. Alright, so if I were him, I would definitely probably protect the Garchomp here and overheat the Weavile slot. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to body press the Rotom slot, and I think we're going to bring in the Slowbro, or maybe we'll bring in the Annihilate, because the Thunderbolt would kind of ruin our whole life, right? So I think we're going to do that. Yeah, we'll bring in the Annihilate. And then on the following turn, we can Will-O-Wisp the Garchomp slot. Yep, there's that. Overheat. Nope, Volt Switch. Okay, that's fine too. That is fine too. Is he gonna bring back in the Code Scroll? Yeah. Alright. Now I'm really tempted here to actually I could just rate. Well, he still has his Terra, so I think I will. Oh shoot, I forgot. We were supposed to. Hang on. There's Rage Powder. Slowbro. Alright, so there's the Sword Stance. Hopefully the Will-O-Wisp goes off. Oh wait, he Rage Powdered. He Rage Powdered. So this Rage Fist is gonna go... Hopefully this knocks it out. I doubt it. Oh, that does nothing. That did absolutely jack diddly. It has a red card too. Interesting. Alright, so this is actually kind of bad. This is actually really bad for us. Alright, I forgot to do the pipes because I was so busy setting everything up. Alright, hang on. I think we're gonna put the Garchomp to. This Rage Powder will knock it. Oh, but what if the Garchomp doesn't? Yeah, the Oh, the rock slide does nothing, so no flinch, please. Perfect. Wow, that is a super bulky... That is a super physically bulky Toedscruel. That is really annoying, actually. Oof, okay. I think we're also going to heal Pulse the Boros. And while we're waiting for that, I dark prettier. Yeah, we're supposed to wow. Just a mass knockout of everybody, huh? Alright, so Toedscruel is down. All is down, and Toro. Alright, we have some ground to cover here. Now the plus side here, though. The plus side is that he can't roar us out with the Hippowdon. So we're not out of it yet, but now we can go into game 2 with a bit more knowledge. Does he protect the Garchomp here? I think he protects the Garchomp to avoid getting flinched. I think what we're gonna do is we'll... I mean, we have no reason not to anyway, so let's just go ahead and fake out that slot and we'll Brain Punch Rotom slot. Yeah, that's fine. And the Drain Punch will still knock out the Rotom. It should, from that range, I would think. Yep. Okay, so Rotom goes down. And now it comes down to Hippowdon and Garchomp. Now, what this is going to come down to is whether or not the Sand Veil is going to end up screwing us over. Because if it doesn't, I think we have a solid chance to win this. If not, then we might lose. Yeah, I love this all or nothing kind of thing. So we'll... I don't know if it's sashed. It might be sashed. But just in case it is, we'll go ahead and Rage Fist that slot. We'll double into the Garchomp. I don't think the Hippowdon on its own is a threat. Alright, so is this Terra Steel Garchomp? Oh no, it's Terra Ground. Okay, so it just won't take as much damage from the Ice Spinner, but it should still do a good chunk, I think. Oh no, it's Rock. I always mix those up, Ground and Rock. Alright, so I think we're going to lose this one. Wait, what? I'm so confused. What just happened? Yeah, we lose this one. Part of that was just me being distracted by too many things. I wasn't. Okay. So we lose that one for sure. Not making excuses on that one. Let's just go ahead and reset, and games 2 and 3 will be more focused. It's my own fault for not being prepared beforehand, so fine. Okay, so that Toedscruel is really physically bulky. That's good to know. He has Roar on the Hippowdon, and he has Eject or Red Card on the Toedscruel as well. So setting up with Annihilate will be a little difficult, so maybe that's not the correct lead. what I'm thinking is think he didn't bring Lycanroc, which I was kind of expecting him to bring there, but well, maybe Lycanroc's not the best thing because of like Annihilate, Tauros, Slowbro. Maybe maybe it's not good that he bring that. I don't know. Yeah, maybe we'll slowly the Annihilate. Or I feel like I still need Weavile back to deal with the Garchomp. So we'll just have to definitely be more focused in this game. I really don't want another season where I lose week 1 again. So I'd rather not make it a hat trick. Did I bring Grafaiai? I don't think I did. And that was like the whole reason for me bringing Grafaiai was to set up Rain. Oh, I did bring Grafaiai, good. Okay. I will protect. No, actually, here's what we're gonna do. I'm faster than a Hippowdon, and the Hippowdon has a eject button, right? Maybe what we do instead, Super Fang the Rotom slot, and we will Rain Punch the Hippowdon slot, because then it'll force the eject button, and then because then setting up Rain does almost nothing. Wait. I thought you had eject button. Oh no, it wasn't a eject button. It was the other thing where if his stats change, he switches. Well, there goes that plan. Alright, new strat, I guess. I'm really not on my A game today. I thought it was a eject button. And I did not bring Slowbro. Fucking min. The fire went down. That's fair. Yeah, the correct play there would have been to switch out the Annihilate, bring in the Tauros to force the switch, and then Super Fang that slot. That would have been the correct play. That's really annoying. There's a Lycanroc. Okay. The Sand Rush is the ability. I feel like I should be scouting for Psychic Fangs. Are you? What's your Terra on Lycanroc? Yeah. Psychic Fangs, there it is. I figured as much. So we made the correct play. The thing is, can Tauros survive a Psychic Fangs? And will Will-O-Wisp actually hit? That did a crap ton of damage. I need this Will-O-Wisp to hit. Thank you. Perfect. Overheating the Annihilate slot, that's fine. I think Terra Fire here is the correct play. But the Hapaudon's still in the back, though. That's... I don't know if that's... do that. Terra Fire. And we'll Rage Fit into the Lycanroc slot. I don't think a Psychic Fangs will KO from that range. Especially when burned, and it's not going to be super effective damage. So hopefully the Body Press will KO the Rotom. Hopefully the Psychic Fangs does not. Oh, it doesn't. Cool. Rage Fist into the Lycanroc slot. Alright, Lycanroc goes down. Perfect. We predicted that. So, good on us. Body pressing the Rotom. Rotom goes down. Perfect. Okay. Now this is a game. Now this is a game. Now the only issue now is we're weak to Earthquake. So, we're not out of it yet. There's Toad's cool. Who do I have in the back? I have Weavile in the back. So I think we're gonna... Below... No, he'll probably just end up Rage Powdering. So a Raging Bolt here. Or is it better to... swap in the Weavile? Yeah, Rage Powder as we predicted it would, so that's fine. Raging Bull. Don't think it matters. Honestly, that works out great, because that means we can reset the Intimidate. That actually works out in our favor. The only issue now is the Annihilate's probably going to go down here to an Earthquake. But then again, so is the Toad School. I think we're in a good position here, actually. So Annihilate goes down, and Toad's Cool goes down. So now we're in a 2v1. Now the issue, again... I mean, the obvious play here is for him to protect. So we'll just Will-O-Wisp and we'll Fake Out. But then at that point it's... Oh, he doesn't. Okay, cool. Does a Body Press and Ice Spinner KO? I don't know for sure. I think we're going to Body Press an Ice Spinner and hope that's enough damage to knock it out. Oh, it's definitely going to be enough damage. That works out great. Alright, so the Hippo goes down. And that is game 2 for us. That could have very easily gone poorly if, because of a couple misplays that we made. Okay. Now, the Hippowdon item switches out with stat changes. It's not eject button. Okay. And I'm actually gonna... because we have access to others, right, now we have the paratypes, because we have access to that. Alright, so... I think we still lead Driftveil, because that did pretty good for us. I almost want to do Driftveil Weavile. No, we'll do that. We'll do this. We'll Weavile. Okay. So the Hippowdon is a grass Terra type, which means that the ice coverage that we have with Weavile will still be beneficial. Archop is rock, Lycanroc is psychic, Hippowdon's grass, Rotom is steel. Good to know. Vaporeon is dark, and Toedscool is poison. He probably has the dark, that way we can't taunt the Vaporeon. But that's fine. Alright, so I think the correct play here is we're going to Parting Shot the Garchomp. We'll bulk up Annihilate, and then we'll bring in the Tauros, get the Intimidate, and that will force out the Hippowdon. And we're going to be in a really good position. And we get Garchomp down to -2. That puts us in a really good spot. Hippowdon will swap. What will they bring in? Brings in Vaporeon. Okay, so the Vaporeon, I wonder if it has Haze. Alright, so he did kind of, sort of, but Haze would also reduce his stat changes, so I don't know if that's the route he wants to go. But he's back up to neutral now. So... what is... I think we Willow the Garchomp. Okay, leftovers. Yeah, we're gonna Willow the Garchomp, and we will... I don't know how big of a threat this Vaporeon is. It's not that big of an offensive threat, so I think I'll just put damage on the Garchomp. Ooh, double... or... yeah, that's fair. What's the Vaporeon doing? Oh, that wasn't a good... that was... yeah. I actually appreciate that, thank you. Alright. So... we got a Defiant boost off that, so... that's actually going to help us significantly. We're at we're at +2 now. And we're at +1 defense. He cannot protect this turn. I think we just I think we're just going to double attack into the Garchomp slot. I think we can take it out. I don't think we need to try to burn it. I think we can just take it out by doubling up with Body Press and Brain Punch. Unless, of course, we miss because of Sand Veil, which I guess is also a possibility. Alright, so whatever's coming in is about to take a chunk of damage here. So, alright, so it's the Hippowdon. Alright, that's fine. That's a good amount of damage. I don't know if the Body Press will be enough. No, but the subsequent... Alright, so that'll be a little annoying. Not gonna count that, it's a little annoying. So, how do I... Oh, wait, I have Super Fang. This is fine. I have Super Fang on the Driftveil to help deal with that. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to Drain Punch the Hippowdon, and we are going to Willow the Vaporeon. That way, we can at least mitigate the leftovers recovery. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. Alright, so the Hippo is down. Perfect. Perfect. Now we don't have to worry about that. So the Vaporeon isn't really going to be an issue, unless it has Rest, but even then... Alright. So, who's he bringing in next? Is it Garchomp? No, it's the Rotom. Okay. I think we're going to swap out. We're going to go in Driftveil, and we will Drain Punch Rotom. I have no need to Terra right now. And if he does decide to Terra the Rotom, he's going to take a crap ton from the Drain Punch, so I think that's the correct one. Yep, that's a good amount of there. Yeah, I should have thought about that. That's fine, I think. Ooh. Ooh, Baton Pass. I didn't even consider that as an option. Alright, touche. Okay. So we are burned. I still have not taken any damage, so Rage Fist is still at base power. I think we'll go Parting Shot into Intimidate again. And we'll just Drain Punch Rotom. Fine. Not worried about it. See if we can knock it out, because we're back at neutral now because of the burn. So it is enough to take it out. Awesome. Rotom goes down. So in comes back into Vaporeon, which is fine. We're not worried about it. But we do have to deal with a +2 Garchomp, which we can deal with, but it's still going to be pretty annoying. We'll just Brain Punch the Garchomp. See how much damage it does. That way we can kind of figure out how much damage we're working with and see if I need to get any more bulk ups. Alright. And he can't switch, so even if he Sword Stance here, he'll just go back up to neutral, which means I have a chance to Willow. And I still have Weavile in the back, too. You could Terra Rock, though. I guess that's always an option, but... that's fine. I'm not worried about that. That's not doing anything. Hardly. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to Willow. And we're going to look for an opportunity to switch back into Driftveil. That way I can start super fanging things. Get things into range where I can start picking things off. I guess I'll just bulk up. I have no reason not to. Again, I can switch out at any point, so it's not that big of a... fine. Maybe I Terra Water the... if the Willow hits, I think I'll Terra Water the Bull. Perfect. I could just start body pressing Garchomp too. Wait. Arrow Water. Body press. And Brain Punch. Just in case he decides to protect. So now, I will be taking Jack Diddley from that earth. Yep, there's protect, that's fine. That's good. Perfect. Since Body Press is based off my defense stat and not my attack stat, Baby Doll Eyes is doing nothing. Ooh, Rage Fist just got stronger, thank you. And I resist Surf. So maybe I'll protect the Tauros now, and I'll just take out the Vaporeon. Then I don't have to worry about Baby Doll Eyes on the Weavile when I decide to bring that back in. We'll still Body Press the Garchomp. We will Rage Fist the Vaporeon, and that's... yeah, that's fine. That's doing nothing for Body Press's damage. And we'll also get even more power on our Rage Fist. Even better for us. Vaporeon goes down. And we might secure this 4-0, guys. Okay. Okay. We'll bring in SCVI. And we will Rage Fist the Garchomp, and hopefully that should secure it. That's fine. Because literally all I have to do is parting shot back into Intimidate, and he's right back to where he was. I'm pretty sure we got this secured. Yeah. And that is match. So we have ended the curse as far as our week 1 losses, even though we started off kind of rough. So thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you guys next week when we take on the Lavender Town Gangars. Out.